gonna try to help, hopefully. I have written all the posts and watched all the YouTube videos and all the things explaining push rod adjustment on an EVO, on a Sportster, on all the bikes. On paper to me, I guess it depends on how you learn. On paper to me, it's confusing as all get out. And after doing it several times and doing it incorrectly, I found a way that works for me. It may not be the right way. If you got a better way to do it, more simplistic, put it in the comments. Let me know. I'm always down to learn, but let me show you kind of what I figured out and it has worked for me. So you're gonna first need to know how many turns, how many threads per inch your adjustable push rods are. I mean, you could measure out an inch on them and then count the friggin' threads. But it's best if you start off knowing what brand push rod you got, how many threads per inch, so how many turns you need to do. That is on you. That I can't help you with because all the push rods are different. Okay, so this motor had no push rods in it. We just did a top end. And you know, you put them in, you adjust them till there's no slack. So you're gonna run it out till it's like fairly close, but not zero lash like you hear them say, just like that. Then what I do is I put the transmission into top gear, jack the bike up off the deal so you can spin the back tire, put the transmission in 5th or 6th, and you're gonna be turning it forward. When you do that, you're gonna have somebody turn that back wheel and you're gonna look back here. And with just the weight of these sitting on these lifters, when you turn that back wheel, you'll see the push rods move, AKA the lifters going down. So what you're trying to do, it doesn't matter what cylinder you're doing first. It matters what cylinder is on the base circle of the cam, meaning those lifters aren't moving. So what I do is I rotate the back wheel until one of these cylinders both are moving at the same time. So here, we'll try to get a little video of it. It's gonna be hard with no hands and things to hold it, but basically, let me push these up and I'm gonna have Courtney move the wheel. So let's look at these push rods. See them back too? See these guys back here? They're both moving. Go backward. Backward. Right there. See, they're moving at the same time? These ones aren't moving at all. So what I'm gonna do is adjust these ones. So it doesn't matter what cylinder you start on, it matters which ones are going, meaning those ones are on overlap. So I'm gonna run these out to zero lash to where they're, you know, not a lot of wiggle there. I'm gonna mark it at the bottom and the top, and then I'm gonna do my 3 turns or my 4 turns or my whatever, run my lock nut down, and then I'm gonna wait the 10-15 minutes and see if this sucker will spin once it's all tightened up. If it does, cool. I'm moving on to the next one. Then I'm gonna do the same thing, my 3 or 4 flats or however you wanna count it, to where this sucker is under pressure. And then what's gonna happen is wait that 10-15 minutes, you should be able to spin that sucker once it's tightened. And then you know you're done with this cylinder. So then what you're gonna do is you're gonna go back to the wheel, you're gonna move it forward until this cylinder, this cylinder now starts moving up and down at the same time. You're gonna stop, and then you're gonna go to this one. Now you're gonna do the same program with these guys. You're gonna run those out to zero lash, do your 3 or 4 threads, then you're gonna lock this lock nut down, then you're gonna wait the 10-15 minutes, and then you're gonna try to spin it. You should be able to spin it. Then you move on to the next one. You do your zero lash, then you do your 3 or 4 turns, however many it is, lock it down, same thing. After a few minutes, you should be able to twist that sucker. Shouldn't be tight. And then you're done. It's pretty simple. I mean, it sounds terrible, and me reading the step-by-step definitely didn't help. So yeah, hopefully this will help somebody make maybe some sense out of it. And this, like I said, might not be the correct way to do it. If you know a better way, man, put that down in the comments, because I'm always down to learn a better way. But I don't think I'm a, I don't know what you call it, a person that learns by reading. I'm a video type learner, I guess, because that's how I've been doing it. Just whatever cylinder, when you rotate the back wheel forward, you watch for whichever ones are moving and do the opposite cylinder is the one you adjust. And then same thing, you go in the same forward direction back there, and then the other, wait till the ones that you just adjusted were done, and now do the other one. And then you're done. Hope that helps. Here's what I'm talking about. This cylinder I have done, we just turned the wheel around. So these guys are moving up and down, right? The push rod, push rods. They're moving up and down. So now I'm clear to adjust these ones. So what I've done is I've taken these guys and I've lengthened them, thus making them longer to where there's no lash. See, it's not hecka tight, but like it's zero lash. So then what I do, I take a paint pen, which this always works best for me. Other people might have other suggestions. Get your mama's nail polish or something. But you mark this sucker. Get down in there too. Then give her a minute or two, let her dry. I've already done the back one. So they're both at zero lash. So now what I'm gonna do, since these ones are here, this is on overlap. They're not moving at all when I spin that wheel. So I'm gonna adjust my 3 turns or whatever out on this back one, which maybe I can show you here. So I get to going. Sorry, it's hard to do this with, you'll see so many hands. But I back this sucker out. We're coming to 1. And then here's 2. There's 3. Oh no, we'll stop at 3. I think it is in these push rods. So then we'll run our locking dealie down, and then this is the tricky part, which is locking down this damn lock nut. So everybody's got their own approach to it. If you got 8 hands, it's usually best, but I don't. So here's what I got. Okay, so that sucker's locked down. See, now that I've got it adjusted out to 3 turns, it's tight. So I gotta wait 10-15 minutes, usually like 5 minutes, and then I can spin this sucker. Right now, you see I can't spin it, it's tight. So before I go on doing this one, I gotta wait for this guy to loosen up. So we'll check back with you here in a second when I can spin that one. What I'm saying is, I know in the instructions for a lot that I've seen online and adjusting push rods and all that, they talk about get 1 cylinder on TDC compression stroke, like this and like that. What I'm saying is I don't do any of that. I don't put anything in the spark plug holes. I don't do any of that. I just look for overlap on the cam and I adjust that cylinder. So take a look. It's been about 5 minutes since we've adjusted this one, our 3 turns. At first we couldn't spin it. We can spin it pretty easily now. So that tells me that lifter has bled down and now I can move on to my other cylinder. So now we're gonna adjust this one. We've marked it at 0 lash, which is like right there, 0 lash. So we're gonna go ahead and hold the bottom. Your push rods might be different, so you might have to use different stuff, but it's basically what you do. You run this sucker out to 1. 2. And like I said, mine are 3 turns, 3 flats, whatever you want to call it. 3. Then I'm gonna lock this guy down. Then I'm gonna wait 5 minutes, 15 minutes, however long it takes for your lifter to bleed down so that you can spin that push rod. Then you know you're done. And I've already done the back cylinder because that's the one that came up first. So we're going to lock that guy down. We're locked in. We can't turn it. It is stuck. So we'll wait a few minutes till this guy is easy to spin like this guy. Then we know these ones are done. And since these 2 are already done, boom. All I got to do is close these suckers up, push these guys down, pop my dealie in there. My push rods are adjusted. We'll catch back with 1 second till we see this one's able to be turned. Okay, so here we are. Spin 5-10 minutes. Back one's all loosey-goosey, front one's loose, so we're good to go. We could shut up shop on those. So what I was trying to explain, I have another old cam here. So when you get your cam in and you've got your dots all lined up with your breather and your crank, pinion, whatever, that's like what your cam looks like. So if you imagine that inside, you can have 2 push rods for each cylinder on either side. So what we're doing is when, let's say these two are moving because these 2 bumps are moving those lifters up, moving those push rods. So when we're on here, this one's on the base circle. That's the lowest spot it's gonna get, so we adjust those ones. Also, if we look at it like this. So now, if these ones were up when we're moving the back wheel, these ones would be moving. So we know we could adjust this cylinder because push rods and lifters would be back here on the flat spot so that it's at its lowest point. It's safe to adjust it. I don't know how all the cylinders on TDC and all that goes, but this works for me. So now what we'll do is I'll try to get a video with these up. Some people have the fancy holders. We are not mechanics. I mean, these are our own bikes that we work on. So like, take what I say with a grain of salt. It's just what I've been doing, and I'm just trying to help some folks. So if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But let's take a look here. If you can move that back wheel, let's see if we can get a shot of these moving up and down and see what I'm talking about. So see that we're going forward with the wheel. We see the back one moving. Now we see the front one moving. Keep going. Okay, let's stop. So the wiggle it back and forth. See them front ones? Wiggle it back and forth harder. They're moving. These ones ain't doing nothing. So you would be adjusting these ones. And the same thing, once you get these ones to move up and down by turning the wheel forward, and then just stop right there, and you could adjust these ones because they won't be moving. That's how I see it. Pretty simple. Any questions or anything, ask in the comments, or if you've got a better way to do it, let me know. Shoot, I'm no professional. We're just over here putting stuff together, and this has worked for me, and sometimes people just need it explained how I need it explained. I don't know.
Hey guys, Courtney here. So that was a little bit different than the normal video we do. We kind of did it on the fly because we were working on a bike, and we wanted to make sure you got the information. Josh was literally like, we should make a video about this. Let's do it now. So hopefully, you know, we're sorry for the background noise. Our neighbors were a little bit noisy and it's raining outside. But don't forget to like the video, comment on the video, even if you think we're doing it totally wrong. Not always experts, it just works for us and works for Josh. And subscribe if you want to see more of what we're putting out there. If you want to see more small, short videos with tips and tricks in it, let us know that too. If you don't follow us on Instagram, give us a follow over there. There's always interesting things happening. You can find that information down in the description. Anyways, take care.